So now in this next section, we will see. So there are different sampling methods. Basically, they are some or the other interrelated. Basically, you can take it either from the drain port, or you can take it from the live sample. So pressurized line from the pressurized line. Basic purpose is that your oil should be either under normal working conditions, and then it should be drained for say 5 to 10 liters from the sample line, and then when the consistent color of the sample is observed, then only you will be taking the sample from, and then you will fill the bottle to not half, it is to the 3/4 level. Okay, 75% of the bottle. And some oil is, if you are taking it from the some oil should be there, enough amount should be there.
To every marine engineer out there, from junior engineer to chief engineer and electrical officer, we all know that earning respectship is very important. We all know fast promotions are very important, and we all know that इज्जत कमानी है, promotion चाहिए तो काम आना चाहिए, तो जूते पड़ते हैं, गालियां पड़ती हैं, and for that you need a good mentor. Sometimes we keep finding those mentors on board ship, अगर नहीं मिल रहे तो MNDFLIX है ना, Merchant Navy Decoded has launched a subscription model where you can find more than 30 plus courses with respect to your rank, helping you earn respect on ship. Please enroll on these free trial videos, watch these videos as per rank, and then decide whether you want to invest or not, with a very good flexible payment plan as well. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata.
One important point here to be noted is, while we are taking sample from the AC unit, or say from the refer plant, if you are taking samples, so one important point to consider here is, reefer oil has got a property to attract water. Okay, so it is called hydroscopic. Okay, so it means that it will collect the moisture from the air as soon as you will take the sample, and if it is brought into contact of air, it will be contaminated with the moisture or the water content. So you will get increased water content. To what you do in this case, if you are taking from the AC refer plant for checking, giving it for checking, so in that case we will keep the sample bottle cap slightly loosened. Okay, not fully open, not fully closed, slightly loosened, to degas for approximately 1 hour. This we generally do it for all the equipment, all the oil that we have taken. So because oil is hot, and you generally cannot put the hot oil into the oil can. Okay, in that case what you can do is, you can just keep the cap loosened. Okay, so that gases and moisture and all everything can be released, and then you tighten the cap. For the next 60 minutes you keep the cap loosened. Okay, cap must remain slightly loose to allow the refrigerant gas to escape, but do not let any ambient air to come in contact. So basically, to avoid any moisture contamination. Moisture contamination is very important factor when you are sending oil for sample analysis. Once you have directly your oil has directly contacted the air, moisture gets trapped, or if you have just sealed the hot oil, in that case moisture gets trapped, your results will definitely show high amount of water in the content. The problem is, when you will see high water content, the consequences when it will be when the report will be released, the company will uh, come back to you as to why this has happened. And then if you explain that it was due to wrong sampling process, you have to resample and send it again to the lab for analysis, and then it will be costly affair for the company. The company is going to be very furious about it, and then it will be showing that you were negligible and inefficient while the sampling was being carried out. So your part, your role, or as a ship board engineer or the duty engineer, is to give the sample or collect the sample in correct manner, so that at least whatever is the current scenario with the machinery is actually reflected in the lube oil samples. It is that, and in fuel oil samples also, the homogeneous sample is being sent to the lab for analysis. In that, I would like to discuss one example. Say you are taking fuel oil bunkering for uh, 10 hours continuously, and then one cubitainer got filled up, and then you used next cubitainer, what kind of sampling you will be sending to the lab for analysis? Will you send from the number 1 or from the number 2 sample cubitainer? Okay, so the answer to this is that in that case what you will do, you will take a big drum, mix both the cubitainer's oil, create a homogeneous mixture of both the oils, and then take a sample, okay, from that. So in that case you can mix both the oil of complete process, because you have to send a representative sample for the complete bunkering process, in that it is allowed. So there you will be sending the analysis, sample fluid analysis from the complete bunkering process, either 1 2 3 number of cubitainers if you have used, okay, not from the only one. But in lube oil analysis you cannot do that. You cannot mix oil from fresh oil or bad oil and then make a mixture of oil and then send it. That will be a wrong practice, and also it will be a crime. Okay, so you don't do that. You actually take whatever sample you are taking, so whatever sample you are getting from the machinery, and correct consistent color, temperature, after flushing 20 liters of oil, taking from the correct drain port is very important. Now let us see a few areas from where this exact sampling point which has been given by the manufacturer, which is giving you representative sample, and the class which is actually to identify uh, the method of sampling. So this is just an example from one of the vessels, does not mean that it is applicable to all types. Just we are showing here key what are the places from where the samples are generally taken, sampling point. So you can see here one of the machineries here, it's a uh, ship service diesel engine. This is a different kind of a vessel, this is a navy kind of a vessel. So from the this one dipstick, from the dipstick through the vacuum pump method, they have advised to take a sample, where they will be inserting a vacuum pump inside this section, and from there sampling tube, and they will flush the oil by taking the vacuum, by using the vacuum pump, and to the waste container, and then you will take the sample. So that is one of examples they have shown. So this is from the says shaft, intermediate shaft bearing. They are taking it sample from the sampling uh, from the dipstick side. So from the dipstick side they have given the sample port. So all these sample points will be provided by the manufacturer. So when you see the manufacturer's manual, in that the sampling point is also given. So if you are not finding it for your respective vessel, go for the manufacturer's recommendation, for the manual maker's recommendation as to what is the correct sampling point. But always make sure you are flushing an exact amount of oil before, say, before taking the correct sample. So you can see here, this is a bow thruster, very common in the vessels, bow thruster hydraulic power pack. So from the hydraulic power pack, uh, they are taking sample from the uh, sump tank. On the sump tank, from the from this section, from the cap. So remove the filling cap, base, and the screen all have to be removed, and from there you will insert a vacuum pump, and then collect oil after circulation for 10 minutes, and while the equipment is running, from there you can insert the tube and remove the flush oil for around zero point 0.5 liters here, and then you will draw the correct sample. Okay, this is stern tube header tank. So stern tube header tank also, this is the sampling point, drain point. Okay, so from here you have to take samples. Ensure that the stun tube is circulating for at least 8 hours prior to taking sample from the header tank. um, Collect sample at the ambient temperature, flush 1 liter through the permanently installed piping and prior to taking sample. So from here we have to flush out 1 liters, 2 liters, and then you take the sample. This is deck machinery. So from there your sampling point is provided, drain port is provided. So this is somewhere near the turbocharger. You have to take sample like this. This is the refer unit, okay, refrigerant plant compressor. So generally on board we are not sending, but some of the vessels might be sending it. For there it is given that you have to take samples like this. Lifeboat David winch. So winches on board, lifeboat David winch. You can see the sampling point given on the winch. From there you have to open and vacuum pump method, insert some pump and then vacuum pump and then collect the sample oil at the ambient temperature. Flush the oil and draw the sample. Okay. This is mooring winches. Mooring winches sampling point is given here. Okay. Uh, Now this is the windlass and the mooring winch, and from there also you can see this is the drain a point and the sampling point given. This is the purifier gear case sampling point. This one is given. Same vacuum pump method, or you can drain and take samples from there. This is the drain method. So all the vessels have got sampling procedure. This is how the bottles have to be labeled. So there are labeled what all information you have to give: equipment name, where is the engine, what type of oil, number of oil hours, and number of equipment hours. Now one important thing: what is the oil hours and what is the equipment hours? So say you have run the machinery after the oil change for say 22,000 hours, that you can come to know from where, from the previous records when the oil was changed. Okay. So equipment hours is since when this equipment has been running. So maybe it is running from 10,000 running hours. Okay, the vessel is 5 years old, that equipment has started and it is running for 10,000 running hours, but renewed oil, new oil has been put for last 2,000 hours. So the new oil hours will be 2,000 hours. Here you will feel it like oil hours will be 2,000 hours, equipment hours will be 10,000 hours. Many times people get confused and they fill the same data in this, and then wrong values are interpreted in when the results come. Okay. Date of sampling, type of vessel, equipment name. Okay. This is the part where we have discussed about how the analysis report is being sent. You can see there is one for the cell also. You 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 get your kit for the analysis. This is the sampling bottle. Fill the bottle and fill out the sample label. Okay, this is the sample label, and you have to send it to the nearest lab. uh, so this is the lab sheet that you will be getting on board if your vessel is registered with cell. Mostly the vessels are registered with cell. So cell will give you one code for the type of oil. That analyst lube analyst code also you have to fill. Okay, in the sampling sheet. Okay. Which code of the oil is this as per the as per the shell chart. Okay, that data will be given on board. Okay, and then you send it to the address whichever, say you are nearby Singapore or you are nearby US, then you are sending it to this address, you are sending it to this address, depending on the type of um, port you are near to. Okay. Okay, in the next section we are going to discuss some more details about how the sampling process has to be done as per this ExxonMobil's chart. Okay, thank you.